Okay, let's talk about why some people recover from bothersome tinnitus and other people don't. So there's two categories. There's tinnitus and then there's bothersome tinnitus. And I'm going to address both. Tinnitus is a symptom. It's not a disease in and of itself. And there are a million things that can cause it. It could be an ear infection. It could be earwax buildup. And I've heard stories of some people get the earwax out and their tinnitus goes away, and other people take the earwax out and it starts. So it could get rid of tinnitus, getting earwax removed, or it could cause it. I've heard stories of both. It could be from an ear. Mine was from an ear infection. It could be from loud noise exposure. It could be from a number of different things. And then the same thing that gets rid of it could cause it. It could be medications. I mean, I've heard everything online. I've heard of people eating an apple and getting it. I've heard of people sleeping wrong and getting it. I have heard of everything. And I've heard of people claiming that they did this and it got rid of it, or they did that and it got rid of it. And so, why do some people recover and some people don't? The truth is that what causes it for what causes it for one person might not cause it for another person. And what gets rid of it for one person might not do it for another person. It's such a complicated thing. And here's the thing you have to understand is that it's very subjective, because one person might have a ring and not be aware of it. Might not. The brain might have already habituated it for that person, and that person never even was aware of it to begin with. They may have it. Like, they may be a person where if you could train them to focus on it and hear it, which you would never want to do that. But if you could, then they might be like, oh, okay, I'm finally freaked out by it and I hear it, right? But so some people, their brain habituates it out of their awareness before it's even an issue. Other doctors have said that more people are able to be aware of tinnitus, but their brain has already naturally habituated it before they were aware of it. And so you have all of these scenarios. But what I want to focus on is bothersome tinnitus. Bothersome. Because the truth is you can go down the rabbit hole of, especially if you have it, of trying to get rid of it, and you get back alignments and try this cure, and you go down the rabbit hole of literally eating apples, different things, and different voodoo cures and snake oils. And I don't advise people go down that road, because like, it doesn't end. Literally, because of everything I've explained, of how many people have tried so many different things and have claimed they've gotten rid of it, that rabbit hole doesn't end. And the more you go down it, and the more you try something and it doesn't work, the more disheartened you get, and the worse the tinnitus loop actually gets. So what I recommend is people move to the path of habituation as quick as possible. Go get medically checked out, so it puts your mind to ease, right? Have a doctor tell you there's nothing wrong with you, because that's going to put your mind to ease, and move to the path of habituation as quick as possible. This helps to get you out of the tinnitus loop. So I want to talk about why some people get better with bothersome tinnitus and some people don't. And now here's the thing. Let's break through the myth. Most people recover from bothersome tinnitus. Most people do. Everyone could habituate. Everyone could habituate. I believe it's possible for everyone. Here is what keeps people from habituating, meaning stuck in the bothersome tinnitus. Their brain has a really hard time breaking free from the thoughts and seeing the thoughts as not them. So people become fused with their thoughts. They believe that they are their thoughts, right? They believe that I am offended. I am this name. I am this identity. I am this person. They're not. That's called the ego construct. It's not who you truly are. The Bible even says, take every thought captive. How could you take your thoughts captive if you were your thoughts? But people believe that they're their thoughts. That's why when they're in a rage, it's so hard to communicate and reason with somebody, because they're fused. Their identity is fused with those thoughts. But if you're able to put a little bit of space in between you and your thoughts, and you do this through meditation, and there's countless literature on this stuff through Buddhism and Sufis and Christian mystics. Read Dark Night of the Soul by St. John of the Cross. Your psyche can begin to separate itself from the thoughts, meaning that someone could offend you, and you have the right to not let it offend you. Osho talked about this because when someone offends you, it's just they're pressing a remote control and they're basically controlling you, right? It triggers something else, right? So if you can begin to then put a little bit of space in between you and your thoughts through mindfulness, then you can see the thought as it appears and it says like, oh, we're never going to get better. We're stuck in this tinnitus thing. And you don't have to react to it. You don't have to respond to it. You can simply observe it and allow yourself to continue living even though you don't feel like it. And that is the beginning of recovering from bothersome tinnitus. The reason that some people don't recover from that is because they're fused so much with their thoughts. The idea of them not being their thoughts is insane. They don't even question it. They just, if they're basically walking around a slave to whatever pops into their brain. If their brain tells them to get offended, they get offended. If their brain tells them they're happy, then they're happy. If they would give it a sad thought, then they're sad. If they get a thought that says, go eat this now, they don't think about it. They just go and they eat it. And when you're in that state and you're completely a slave to what your brain tells you, then you are going to have a hard time with tinnitus. Sorry, a bug flew by. You're going to have a hard time with tinnitus. Because tinnitus is going to tell you, wake up and listen to it, and you're going to wake up and listen to it. Wake up and be depressed, you're going to wake up and be depressed. Some people are better at seeing themselves as separate from their thoughts and not letting their thoughts dictate how they feel and not letting their thoughts build their reality. But they're able to say, well, I might feel depressed, but I know that if I go and I do what I need to do and I start living my life, my feelings are going to follow my actions, and my thoughts are then going to follow my actions, right? You get a thought that says, I don't want to go and eat healthy. Well, if you start eating healthy, then your brain is going to be like, we crave the healthy food because we took the action, even though we didn't feel like it, even though our brain was saying we need to go eat unhealthy food. We didn't listen to that. And because we got into a habit of eating healthy food, our brain then is giving us thoughts about eating more healthy food. And so it's funny because everyone knows, well, you can't just do whatever pops into your brain. I mean, you can't, right? If your brain tells you to go steal a car, you're going to have to say no to that, right? You're going to have to not listen to that. Well, yeah, because if you do, you go to jail. You break the rules of society and they put you in jail. So that's a no-brainer. But so it's like we have the ability. Humans have the ability to not listen to every thought that comes into their head and not allow their thoughts to drive every action. Humans do have that ability. It's called self-control. It's what separates us from every other animal. It's just that society, especially in the West, it says indulge in whatever you want, give yourself whatever you want, do whatever you want. So people they don't have the discipline that when a thought like, it says that, listen to your tinnitus all day or worry about it, they don't question it at all. They just do what it says. And so that's what we really need to do if we want to recover from bothersome tinnitus, is we want to not let our thoughts drive our suffering anymore. We want to put a little bit of space and practice seeing our thoughts as separate from ourselves, taking every thought captive, as Jesus says. And in doing that, we can begin to build space between us and the tinnitus. And over time, we grow that space, our awareness expands, and it's no longer driving our suffering. It becomes just a background sound, and we return to silence, peace. That's right. If you like this video, please share it with someone who's going through tinnitus so they can get the hope that they need, and smash the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps the algorithm. Like this video. I always love reading the comments as well. And pick up my 7-day tinnitus course. It's free when you start a free trial of the app, a 7-day free trial. I'll pick that up below. We also have a private Discord. I look forward to talking with you in there. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Peace.